Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets at Lunch on ET Now. I am Snehisha. With me is Meryl D'Souza in the studio. And jumping straight to Wockhardt's earnings conversation, good set of numbers coming in. Let's decode the quarter and the outlook ahead. We've got Dr. Habil Khorakiwala, the chairman at Wockhardt, joining us. Dr. Khorakiwala, good afternoon and thank you so much for your time. You've seen a turnaround from a loss to a strong profit this time around. What was the single biggest driver behind this shift and how are you seeing the rest of the year play out?
If you observe over the last 1 year, our basic business has improved significantly. We have a healthy top line in the last quarter of 26% growth. And we have been in positive PAT since last about 12 months now. So it is steady improvement. And if you also look at our total margin, it has also significant at 17% now. And this will continue to improve as next 12 to 18 months.
Right, Mr. Khorakiwala. Zenic is now commercially approved in the US. Can you give us a sense on the launch timelines as well as the pricing over here? Last quarter, you had mentioned that you will take a conservative approach on pricing. So has anything changed on that front at all?
See, we would be introducing in India Zanic sometime end of the year or early next year, depending on when we get other further approval we require from local agencies. And in US, we intend to do it in the first quarter of next year, launch, introduction. However, we have our complete medical and scientific team in contact with the medical profession to explain about the way the Zenic works, where it is to be used, and how it has to be used. So that pre-launch process is already on. And then generally we will have about 6 months, 4 to 6 months of the pre-launch process. So when we have the product introduced, that is the time we believe that a large number of doctors and hospitals will know about the product and how to use it and when to use it. And I think that is from where the business will start.
Okay, and Dr. Khorakiwala, you did say that Zenic revenue has typically built slowly before a hockey stick after 12 to 18 months, with the franchise breaking even in that window. Are you still on that same timeline, or has anything changed since the approval?
No, I think by and large the timeline is likely to be the same because hospitals have the time to put it into their formulary and other formalities are there. So that happens only after product is made available. But however, we expect a fairly robust launch of the product in terms of its acceptance. And as I mentioned, at 12-18 months, one would see galloping of business take place as far as Zenic is concerned.
Right, and Miqnaf has now also launched in India, and the DCGI has removed the supply condition, which is now widening the patient access for this. Can you tell us what difference is this made to you practically, and what sort of impact are you seeing on ground?
See, normally the business coming out of hospital of Miqnaf is only 10, 15, 20%, not more. Because it's a community-based antibiotic. It is used as a tablet, it's only a 3-day treatment. And in pneumonia, in most cases, 80% of cases, it is prescribed by doctors in the clinic, not in the hospital. So from that perspective, we expect that this quarter and next quarter onwards, Miqnaf acceptance would be significantly more because we will be communicating to more and more medical professionals.
Okay, and you now have 5 novel antibiotics that have completed phase 3. Can you give us a sense on which product can come in faster next? What would become the next Zenic, your launch timelines for some of your new novelty drugs?
See, Zenic is our first product on a global basis. So when we look at international market, the US market, India market, and other countries' market, it is important because we are also in a state of planning the business organization. So we believe we will need at least 3 or 4 years to establish Zenic as well as a business organization, because it is enormous opportunities and potential Zenic has. There is a great medical and clinical need it is there of using Zenic and saving millions of lives. Thereafter, we would be introducing our other antibiotics, which is undergoing further clinical trial. For example, 6777 is a very unique once-a-day antibiotic. It's entering phase 2. So that will also take about 2-3 years, and that is after the launch would be there. And thereafter, we will have our existing antibiotic, which are there in India. We will do a global clinical trial and introduce in US and various other countries.
Got that, Mr. Khorakiwala. You're also actively strengthening your antibiotic franchise. Can you tell us the outlook on this and how much growth do you see from this franchise on your company?
See, unfortunately, big pharmaceutical companies over the last 20-30 years have considerably slowed down and many have exited research on antibiotic. For practical purpose, none of them are undertaking research on antibiotic because they have a therapeutic area which is commercially worthwhile for them. And therefore, we have become one of the, not the most successful organization in the world for discovering new antibiotics. We have 6 of them, which is given a fast track status by US FDA. None other companies have more than one, or some have 2. So from that point of view, we are already in a leadership position. And there is a massive need of having antibiotics for multi-drug resistance, not only with Zenic, but with other molecules which we'll be introducing. And we believe that there is a great opportunity for us and India, not only here in India, but worldwide over the next 10 years or so, and beyond.
Understood. And let's talk about some more segments. Tell us about your biotech and biosimilar business. It continues to focus exclusively on diabetes. How do you see the growth trajectory from this segment?
So our insulin business will have very healthy growth. Last quarter, it has doubled actually, but it will maintain something of the order of 40% plus growth for the next several years, because we are increasing our capacity of insulins. We are going to introduce the entire new insulin analog over the next several years, and we will be probably entering the Western market once again within 3 years or so. So collective, overall you see biological is a very, very important part of our strategic thrust. So antibiotic is one area, and the biological with diabetes is an important thrust area, where we would be increasing our capacity, introducing new products and access new markets.
Thank you, Mr. Khorakiwala, for joining us. Definitely going to be interesting to see how this business and also Zenic's eventual